What exactly does Draiver do? Think OEM, rental, fleet, dealers, nationwide vehicle relocation, and yes, drive away. Hundreds of vehicles on a dime through a robust logistics tech backbone. Tyler Gerber, SVP, Customer Success, joins us live to answer your questions. So please say hello in the live chat, share your thoughts, grow your leads, and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Industry Logistics on ATI Auto Business, where everyone learns more about the automotive industry. We are talking about Draiver today, and to help me get things started, please do help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host on Thursdays, Sue. Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you see and hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Sweet.
Great. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We had a great show Tuesday night. But before we get to that, all right, today we're going to talk to Draiver. Sue, do you know what Draiver does?
Well, we were talking about that. Well, we've actually talked about it the last couple of weeks, right?
We've talked about Draiver. Yeah, we've talked about Draiver. But this is what I say, you know.
But truly, I mean, most people don't understand it. Yeah.
What do you do? What does
Yeah.
Draiver do? And what is drive away? And is it more than drive away? It is vehicle relocation nationwide. Think OEM, rental, fleet. Yes. Car transport in there too. Yes. Drive away in there too. Yes. You know, like during COVID when people wanted their cars delivered to the house?
Yeah.
With a mask on and all that. Yeah, they do that too. If do you need 100? Are you in auction? You need 100 cars moved 10 miles tomorrow. They do that too.
So these are the guys that get in the cars and actually drive them to the place.
Now, and that's drive away.
Oh, okay.
But
So
what
that's different.
Draiver? Yeah, see, what Draiver really is they're a tech company.
Okay.
They are a tech company with a logistics tech network that helps large vehicle relocation businesses, OEM, rental, fleet, dealer, move a lot of vehicles fast, turnkey. If you're an OEM and you realize, oh my God, we got to move 200 Chevy Bolts tomorrow,
Yeah.
or we're going to be clogged up on our manufacturing, call Draiver.
Right.
And they will, through their tech network, reach out to gig workers and however they do it, to get all the people needed to jump in cars and do that. Now, that is drive away, but they do, you know, pick up and delivery. We're going to talk about some defleeting. Hertz has a defleeting problem. Draiver can help with that, too. They work with OEMs, man. They work with Uber, Hertz, Audi, Avis. This is a big company. Penske.
Wow. Yeah.
In fact, an OEM executive said, whenever my team tells me it can't be done, I ask them, have you called Draiver? Jeez. Just call Draiver. And so today we have Tyler Gerber, SVP, National Customer Success at Draiver. He's here. Wow, that's now. November 14th at noon? That's now. That's exciting. Full service logistics management. I could go on, but Tyler will do it. And even, yeah, look at that. I mean, U.S., Canada, Mexico. This is a big company. They do a lot. So we're excited that Draiver's here as we talk about knowing your ecosystem, new, used, dealer, auction, logistics. I'm so often reminded, people are driving around like this. Did you know that? Like, hey, I just care about this. Really? Do that. Try that. Whoa. Wow, the world looks different when you do that. It's the ecosystem's neutral zone. You can say anything here. You know, I heard Tuesday night, I think it was near the end of the show, and Royce goes, you could do whatever you want. I was like, oh. ATI's getting out. You know, I know there are people that don't love that idea, that ATI's out of the box. It's out of the box. It's pretty neat. On Tuesday night's Automotive Ecosystem, that's the big show, and there was Royce answering questions. Are you a broker? No, we're not a broker. Man, he was hammering brokers. In fact, if you go into the video description, if you missed the show, Moozy, thanks Moozy, Moozy's in the live chat, John Lyric's in the live chat, was saying that, like, that show was off the chain. It was stuff such as, are brokers the problem? Are brokers stripping freight to the bone? Are you a broker? Roy sets the record straight on the definition of brokering. Now, one could argue this was an anti-broker show, but, you know, again, if you're doing this, you're not going to understand why the argument can be made that, you know, everybody's got a bit of an Achilles heel, especially brokers. Okay. So, ATI is where everyone learns more, allegedly, about the automotive industry. Which clock is your biggest problem? Join us at Lenders Moving Repo Cars. Yes, this is the last time you have to see this slide. The presentation is next Tuesday. I'm moderating a panel at Used Car Week next Tuesday, the 19th, at 11:45. It's going to be great. We're going to be talking about the auto recovery system. It's messy, right? Like, I've got to tell anybody that. Ever tried to pick up a repo? How was that? Good times? Lots of champagne? Do you have a strategy? Your wheels are off the ramps? Who knows what these guys over here are doing? This was a great show. That was fun. Did you enjoy talking to Kelsey last week? And you're on courtesy mute. So courteous. Thank you.
All right, now can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Anyways, yes, it was great. And it's nice talking to somebody that actually, you know, I hate to say it like this, knows what they're doing and actually does what they say, because nobody else, like I told her, like 90% of the repo yards out there do not take phone calls, do not do anything like what she does. I mean, that's just a fact. I hate to say it. And when I say that they pit us against us, that's why.
Yeah. Well, keep her in your Rolodex.
Absolutely.
If you have a problem, you have her number? Do you have her email?
No, send that to me. But also, if I have a driver over there, I get her repo yard, I know I can make sure I can have it.
And who are we talking about? We're talking about Kelsey Sums Chitwood.
Over.
And, let's see here. Okay, I'm just sending you a random email from her that has her phone number, her email address, and I encourage anybody out there in TV land, listen, if you need to talk to an auto recovery professional that's going to give you answers and help you and knows beyond this, Kelsey can help you. She's great.
They're like a fourth generation, right?
Fourth generation of her family business.
Yeah.
She's been recognized in auto remarketing, women in remarketing, because she's connected to the auctions.
Yeah.
She knows about car hauling. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, she's really a great resource.
I wish she could train the rest of these people.
Well,
wouldn't that be nice?
And this is what the Lenders Moving Repo Cars, is all about. Is we are taking center stage at Used Car Week. It's going to be a ballroom. It's going to be a big room, and we're talking about we got an auto lender. We've got transportation. We got the president of the American Recovery Association. We got Jordan, who works in with Clear Data, Clear Plan. That's Repo Tech, and yeah, I mean we're asking people to join us in this movement of, dude, is there something we can do? And you remember how I said Charles should make a video about how to take the tire off?
Yeah,
he says, here we go.
Got it coming, Jay?
Charles is making another video. Do you see, this is what I've been trying to say. Do you see the power of ATI here?
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. It's freaking great. This is industry logistics. Get on board. Don't hate the hate, or whatever they say. I don't know what they say.
Don't hate the
Show
hater.
me. Don't hate the hater. Don't hate the messenger.
Oh, that
don't
too.
Kill the messenger. Whatever it is. Hey, Volvo recalls vehicle car hauler trucks. I found this. I mean, this is actually interesting. Volvo is recalling certain 2020 through 2025 VAH auto hauler trucks with the Bendix EC80 advanced electronic control units. A potential number of units affected, over 120,000. So dealers will reprogram the ECU software. Electrical noise and low signal to the power line carrier may cause the ECU to incorrectly process commands or stop working. So if you know somebody, do them a solid. Say, hey man, I noticed that you might want to have that checked out. Hey, did you get the memo? That's a memo. We got some more memos. Okay. Military family says cars held hostage en route to new assignment. You know when it hits the news. See, a lot of auto transport hijinks, they don't make the news.
No. What's the story behind that one?
Here we go. I'm glad you asked. They say they had 2 cars stolen.
Oh.
And they face roadblocks from getting help with law enforcement. Okay, the last time Megan and Chris saw their 2 cars, 2015 Ford Mustang, 1992 Jeep Cherokee, they were loaded up on a trailer in August for a trip down to Georgia. And this is in, I believe, Massachusetts. So Massachusetts to Georgia, Ford Mustang, Jeep Cherokee. They paid $2,000 for the transport, which was supposed to cover all the costs. Which, look, $2,000, these 2 vehicles, Massachusetts to...
Wow.
Is that,
in
what
Atlanta,
do you think?
That's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Is that cheap?
No, I mean, it's probably...
That's okay? $1,000?
Yeah, because it's...
I guess $1,000
It's
vehicle.
Massachusetts, for one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, okay. All right, so they paid $2,000. Supposed to cover the cost, but they say the driver who picked up the vehicle soon started texting them. Uh-oh, we know this one. Demanding more money. It went from $2,500 that he was requesting to then $3,000, then $3,500.
Wow. What next?
Oh,
Is that it? Oh.
Of course not. The couple says they have no idea where their cars are. They contacted East West Auto Transport, a Waltham company, to arrange the shipment of the cars. Okay, so that was their broker, East West Auto Transport. Despite some images on the website showing trucks with the East West name, just a broker.
Right.
They don't operate any trucks or employ any drivers.
The explanation of what we do. Like it?
I know.
Like a travel agency.
Brutal, right? Oh, no. It says as much in the fine print. Okay, a broker's job is to find a carrier to transport vehicles, which they do by posting the job. That's where it gets picked up by, okay, Star Energy Cargo for $1,650. That's the $2,000 the sextons paid minus the broker fee. Okay, it all sounds, But unknown to East West, the job got reposted by another broker picked up for twice the money. So herein lies the question, right? How did it get posted by another broker?
And East West should have given the people the name of the company and the phone number of the driver,
which would be Star Energy Cargo. But it got reposted and then picked up.
So that doesn't make sense.
So here we go. You're right. This is now confusing because if Star Energy Cargo picked it up,
you know what? Oh, I know what happened. Okay, listen. So Star Energy picked it up, then got the load from another broker. So they double brokered it themselves. They knew what they were doing. Okay. So then they went through the other broker demanding the money, even though they had it brokered through East West Company. I had this happen to me. Remember, I don't know if, I talked about it. That my load got listed by the same kind of thing happened, and they wanted the higher paying load, so they took it from them and not me, but took it from me originally, then I canceled. So they were trying to do the same thing. So that's what went down.
So the carrier double brokered it?
Yep.
Wow.
And so they thought they were going to get that extra money because they brokered it through the other company, even though they'd already picked it up through East West.
And the plan is when the carrier double brokers it, they're in on the strong arm. Like you're going to
I don't know if they're in on the strong arm or if they just thought they were going to get paid double pay without. I mean,
yeah, but how else are you going to make that extra money unless the double brokered carrier threatens them that they need more money before they'll deliver?
So what they did was they picked it up for East West for $1,650. The other broker listed it for $3,500. They picked it up from them too, then told that other broker that they picked it up as well. and then said, we need 3,500. That's the agreement, even though I bet you it was a billing with the second broker, right?
I mean, at what...
That's what happened.
This transaction literally is turning into a criminal activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because the carrier is just as at fault for playing that kind of crap.
And then the driver starts texting the couple, threatening to junk their cars unless they pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wondering if it's a scam.
It could be a scam with them both. I mean, it really could be with the trucking company and the second broker. But to me, it sounds like it was listed by the second broker. They took it there too and decided they wanted that 3,500, not the 1,650.
Well, here's what's interesting. East West offered them a refund. So they're not in on the double broker scam.
No.
Have a refund, make an insurance claim against the original trucking company, Star Energy Cargo.
Claiming the policy doesn't cover theft? Oh,
because it's not stolen because there's a dispatch contract.
Yeah, but they're saying Star Energy Cargo's insurance was denied because they don't cover theft. What policy doesn't cover theft?
Yeah, who is their insurance company?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So then, all right, the couple files a criminal complaint. Driver doesn't show up for court. A bench warrant is issued. Jesus.
Oh, so it's a federal because they cross state lines with it too, is what it says.
And I don't think anybody realized there are so many bench warrants out at one time. You can't catch everybody. It's crazy.
Okay, I got to look up this company. What was the name of that company?
So Star Energy Cargo is the double broker carrier. So then, and now the FBI is involved.
Yeah, they're
without a declaration the vehicles were stolen, they cannot file an insurance claim and get restitution. Jeez, man.
Now, their insurance company should have paid for it though, because their cars got stolen.
Well, this is okay. The insurance company has to check their boxes, and they're saying vehicle wasn't stolen because it was hired for transportation. Now, if the hired for transportation company is acting like they're stolen or not stolen, but it's still, for all intents and purposes, I think it's considered vehicles in transport.
No, what that was saying, the way I read that, that was the insurance company for Star would not cover it because they're saying it's not stolen.
Yeah, no, that
their
doesn't
personal insurance would cover it. It doesn't matter. Their cars got stolen. Even via transport. If they disappeared, there's covered.
I would think are you able to find out who Star Energy Cargo's insurance company is?
I'm looking them up, and
because I think we should all call.
Yeah, we should all just
everybody in live chat.
Scumbag.
I got an insurance company. Hey, everybody got? Do you have a minute? I got an insurance company you should call.
I found them on the company Snapchat.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what I just said, right? I didn't slander anybody. I just said, hey, I got an insurance company you should call.
It says they're not authorized. Operating status is not authorized, and they're based out of Louisville, Kentucky, if this is the same company.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, I got some more news. Here we go.
Okay.
FMCSA's first ever general freight broker enforcement blitz underway. It's a broker blitz. Broker blitz, broker blitz, you know that song? Yeah. FMCSA's first ever general freight broker enforcement blitz. Yeah, I'll take 2 of those and a order of cheese fries. Called Operation Protect Your Load.
Yes, this is Jan.
Oh, man, I should have worked in the military. The first general freight broker initiative of its kind focused on violations of FMCSA broker regulations. Oh. Right now, there's somebody like, no, you shouldn't have worked in the military, Jay. There's a reason why you didn't. Operation Protect Your Load is specifically centered on unlawful brokerage ongoing through the week and next week, active in 17 states, focused on investigating resources on broker entities with recent and repeated lapses in either insurance and bonding or recent and repeated lapses in authority. So they're looking at insurance and authority and anything strange in terms of multiple applications for authority as well, which we know, right? Go ahead and shut down. We were Star Energy Cargo. Now we are Blue Energy Universe.
Yes, exactly.
Ta-da! New company.
Yep.
178,000 CDLs scheduled for downgrades for drug and alcohol violations. Oh, on Monday.
Scheduled for downgrades. What does that mean?
Okay, so you know how the clearinghouse is like a good time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, more than 178,000 CDL truck. You have to be a CDL holder. No wonder so many folks don't want a CDL. Get me away from that CDL, right? Get that CDL away from me now.
Okay.
Find themselves in prohibited status with the FMCSA drug and alcohol clearance will have their license downgraded and their commercial driving privileges revoked
gotcha.
on Monday. This is phase 2 of a launch that began in 2020.
Confirmation. Sure.
You know, because we like to move,
Okay.
you know,
Sounds
cautiously.
Good.
Phase 3 is in 2049. So, that's a joke. Up until now, drivers who have failed drug or alcohol tests reported to the clearinghouse have been listed. You've just been listed as prohibited. So if you're failing your test, you just listed as prohibited. But starting Monday, the batons come out of the holders. And law enforcement, roadside scale houses, you'll be removed from the road. And then you have to go through the rods, which you don't want, which is another fancy term for return to duty process. Anyways, on Monday, the hammer comes down. So if you're a CDL holder and you've got prohibited status on Clearinghouse, you might change your name to Blue Energy Universe. Hey, Hertz is falling on mounted losses from failed bet on Tesla EV. We're going to talk a little bit about defleeting today. Hertz tumbled after the company reported a worse than expected loss stemming from rental car companies' failed bet on EVs and heavy depreciation costs. So it's costing. They got 30,000 EVs to dump.
Wow.
You know who you call?
Ghostbusters.
Draiver.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. Good one. It's ATL. Anyways, you call Draiver because this is the kind of company that can handle your problems. If you've got big problems, lots of vehicles, call Draiver. 30. Can you imagine trying to defleet 30,000 EVs across the country?
Wow.
Whoa. That blows. But you know, I mean, they identified a problem because there was a headline many years ago, back probably when we all had masks on. They were ramping up EVs because you know how EVs were being shoved down everybody's throat,
Yes.
which is probably one of the reasons why your guy or gal lost. Well, anyways, that EV cramming down the throat, since it didn't work,
Yeah.
it didn't work.
Yeah.
And now people are like, whoa, I got to sell all these. I got to get all this stuff out of my throat. I can barely see. It is auto transport. You can do whatever you want. People do on a regular basis. Hey, did you see this one? This one's for you. This one's for you. This is exciting.
Do better. Ocoee to Rhode Island. Wow.
20 cents a mile. Florida to Rhode Island.
20 cents a mile.
Do you want to book it?
No.
Would you even call it?
No. Would anybody call it? Probably.
Hey, it's so what's interesting to me, since I'm the neutral zone, I don't agree with the full angle of this post.
Yeah.
Like hashtag pathetic? I don't know. I think that's hashtag pathetic. There, I said it. But it is an interesting thing to point out. Here's another thing too. As a LinkedIn post, I'm not sure what the accomplishment is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. Truckers are not using paid parking, calling it ridiculous.
What has it gone up to?
Right, it is. See, that's this. I'm glad you said that. Paid truck parking is becoming more prevalent. Do you have drivers that already have to pay for parking? Right?
Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, if they're in a big rig, most of them will do that because they want to hook up to everything. You know what I mean?
58% of truckers said they don't use paid parking.
Really?
A main reason for avoiding pay. Now, this includes freight and everybody.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Main reason for avoiding paying for truck parking: too expensive, costs are too high, rates are too low. Other reasons: I got home, or I like rest areas. For those who pay $18 each time they pay for paid parking, not getting reimbursed, eating it as an expense, right?
Right.
Nobody gets reimbursed for parking. I'm pointing this out. I think it's a legitimate news story. I mean, it does suck that we live in a country that we know runs on trucking.
Right.
And yet there's
so many high costs for them.
Right. And then,
Ridiculous.
oh yeah, you got to pay for the road, you got to pay for the parking, you got to pay for the air, for the water, for the politics. Don't like our politics? That'll cost you double. You shared this. Okay, so I am saying good place for a load board. Maybe they'll work up to that.
Yeah,
so,
it's new. I've never gotten it before.
Okay, so anybody in the live chat, have you hauled for this company? Do you know? I don't know. Anything
Well,
to
what's
add?
weird is they sent it to one of my companies that hasn't been in business for 4 or 5 years almost. That's why, I mean, I've never even seen it before. So obviously I must have been signed up with them at some point in time, but it's just weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd share it. Thanks for sharing it with me. And hey, do you have room for a carrier?
Yes, I do.
You do have room.
Yep.
All right. So carriers, if you're looking for a dispatch service, if you got a question about dispatching,
Yeah.
call 417-273-0021. Ask for Sue. Murphy Auto Transport 31 at yahoo.com. Go to murphyautotransportservices.com. I'm Jay. This is ATI. I don't ship cars. I just talk. I share the information. Allegedly. Go to ATIautobusiness.com. Contact me. Let me know how I can help. You get the podcast. You can drive around in circles and listen to the podcast. But what I do say, and this would be the first show I've ever done the blinders, is that open up to understand. I'm telling you, I promise you, the more you learn about the rest of the automotive ecosystem, the better it will be for your business and for your, you know how we get irritated when we don't understand?
Yeah.
We're waiting on the waitress. Where's the waitress? Well, maybe she's on the phone and one of her kids is at home sick. The more you understand about what's going on with other people, the better off you'll be.
True.
All right. That's my speech. We are just getting started here. We're going to have Tyler Gerber, SVP of Customer Success at Draiver, up in here. So do me a favor, stick around right after this. We're going to be live with Tyler. You don't want to miss it.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Auto Hauler Exchange has revolutionized the way vehicle haulers and vehicle shippers collaborate. The Exchange B2B marketplace connects vehicle haulers directly to shippers in a frictionless manner. The Exchange helps vehicle haulers maximize their capacity while eliminating empty miles. The Exchange is the first true B2B marketplace of its kind in the vehicle logistics industry. By connecting carriers and shippers directly, carriers can save time and choose which opportunities fit their needs each day. At the same time, shippers can rest assured that their vehicles are being moved by qualified, vetted carriers who fit their vetting program. The Auto Hauler Exchange has democratized the vehicle logistics industry by eliminating the middlemen and connecting shippers directly to available carriers.
Why does a broker take a percentage of every load you move when clearly you could be working directly with carriers? Go around the broker. Get faster car shipping. Visit AutoHaulerExchange.com. All right, please do help me wish a warm welcome to Tyler Gerber is the SVP of Customer Success at Draiver. Tyler, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you and see you.
Okay, great. We can see you, we can hear you. Please say hello and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I started off as an operator within our business itself. I actually was in the weeds doing all the movements with these contractors that we have. And then I moved into our customer success team, in which we serve our clients and, give this consultative approach towards what we do as a company itself. And it's really been useful in being in that operations role, because you know what happens on the ground. And so you're able to speak the language of everybody you're dealing with from tip to tail. So it's been a really good experience in understanding our industry itself.
Thanks, Tyler. Tyler, meet Sue.
Hey, Tyler.
Hi there, Sue.
So Sue and I used to be a dispatcher. Sue is dispatch and broker. So having early beginnings in ops, that makes all the difference.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So, all right, what does that look like? Tell me more about operations at Draiver. What does that look like?
Yeah, so we have a lot of different models within our business, but one of the main things that we are utilized by our customers is our managed service team. So you guys have a dispatch you need to send in. Our team is actually taking that in, understanding what is our deadline we need to meet on that, and then actually planning these moves out with the contracted drivers. So essentially what happens on the back end is we build it within our system, and now we have AI that actually builds it as well, in addition to our managed service team. But what happens is we build out these trips, and then as soon as we're ready to say, all right, let's dispatch this out, we create the trip, it gets sent out to our 20,000 plus contracted drivers, all within that metro area. So essentially what we do is we look for people that are close by. And then if there is anything like a CDL required, or, hey, I need to have a white glove delivery service and they need to be wearing a polo, we have that available as well. So what happens is they send this out, that driver goes and accepts it, just like an Uber, a DoorDash, any of those platforms, and is your driver for that singular move. Now, let's say that we're chaining a whole bunch of moves together, then we can pull in all that information, take it, look at it in aggregate, and understand what is the best move for this company. And it's all based off of those deadlines. So you understand the industry a little bit better once you've talk to these customers and you deal with these drivers, what's happening on the ground. And so it's been extremely useful, especially with our upcoming in this industry itself. And our team is fantastic. These people have been working in this industry for a very long time, and they kind of have built into our technology piece of the puzzle, and it's been extremely helpful for all of them.
Sue, did you hear 20,000?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, that's an attention getter. What's 20,000, Tyler?
Yeah, 20,000 contracted drivers. They're all 1099. They do it just like an Uber, a Lyft, all those.
Really?
So they're all on demand. So let's say, tomorrow you need 20 drivers on your doorstep to go move these massive amount of units. Well, we can have them there. We usually just need about a 2-hour heads up on it. And then let's say next week you're like, I don't need a single driver. Well, then it doesn't matter because they're all on demand. So you're able to scale this solution very easily. And that's one of our key things is we have an OEM that comes up and says, hey, we need to move 30,000 vehicles this year. Hertz is a perfect example of that. They just put out into the world that, hey, this EV thing with Tesla did not necessarily work out as we had expected. So they're going to have to defleet 30,000 units next year. Well, let's say that they need to move 1,000 of those in the first week of January. There's not a lot of solutions out there that they're able to scale that quickly for. And again, if we have more heads up, fantastic. But if we got a week's notice, it's more than enough for us to scale in.
I want to share. I had this I love analogies, and I was thinking of it's the Bourne Identity. When they need to, Treadstone needs to activate on Jason Bourne immediately. And they put out a message to some of their key operatives. You're sending a message out to 20,000 contracted drivers. That's pretty intense. And I think that part of the reason I also that kind of demonstrates the robust nature of your logistics system. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. So essentially, we have all those things I talked about. But what is Draiver essentially? I mean, it's a vehicle logistics solution itself. We used our advanced technology and this driver network we were speaking to really streamline the transportation of the vehicles, right? So we address common problems in vehicle transportation. I mean, there is a million of them, but the main focuses we usually have around inefficiencies, high costs, what happens when things get complicated. A main dispatcher who's been, calling people or shooting out a text doesn't necessarily always know what's the next best move. Our system is actually able to tell the dispatcher or our managed service team, hey, this is the next best move based off of the deadlines you currently have available to us. And then we're really just trying to provide this single solution for all transportation needs. So our system itself is extremely flexible, and it has a way of fitting into pretty much any of these businesses itself. And we can flex in and out, like I said before. But the big thing is, where are our costs coming from? And a ton of the time, these operators don't necessarily know where every single cost may be. There could be receipts coming in that the drivers are just putting on somebody's desk and then no one gets to it for 3 months, right? So within our solution, we have all of these things that are available not only to that driver, but your operations team itself is able to understand where are these costs coming from and which vehicle it was actually transported on. So within each individual trip and every move that we have, we call them activities, and then trips is the larger portion where you have multiple movements. You can actually drill into, okay, I had a $25 receipt for unit 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that, hey, this was Tom's unit and not necessarily, hey, it was Jerry's unit that they transported. Again, you get into the intricacies of what is the main issues they see. It's accountability not only for that operations team financially, but also the actual industry itself kind of misses out on what is happening on a specific move. They look in aggregate across the board, but what are the issues within those individual movements themselves?
Okay, so there's now a lot of moving parts. Is that, okay, because Draiver does many types of moves for many types of customers. Plus, this tech element manages those moves and reports, etc., it sounds like. And then you have, so are all drivers using a mobile app? And that's how they also get notified?
Yeah, exactly. So every one of our drivers is required to have this mobile app on their phone. Every single piece of that puzzle is actually tracked within GPS tracking that we have. And then in addition to that, they have all the information available. Every single step along the way that they need to complete, whether it's dropping off paperwork, taking pictures of the interior of the vehicle, damages on the exterior, again, receipts, all of that is logged within our system. And they have requirements to fill out any of these pieces of the puzzle throughout the way. So really what it does is take every piece of data, even down to how long did it take each one of these drivers to pick up and drop off. And what we can do as a consultative partner for a lot of these people is say, hey, for whatever reason, Jerry takes 2 times as long to pick up his vehicles every time he goes to location A. And what is the issue? Why is Jerry chit-chatting in the front desk? And we know that kind of behavior happens. we're actually able to take all of this information, feed it back to you, and then you can figure out operationally what needs to change. And we're there to give insights and data and every piece of that puzzle that you need to understand to have your business run more efficiently.
Wow. So, right. And this is where, on the mobile app, okay, because what you just said is there's going to be a few drivers like, well, what? But at the same time, as a business owner, it makes sense why you would want that data. And that's why, in this example, it's obvious why you need to use the Draiver mobile app instead of whatever you wanted to use. Now, I do, as many people that watch the show know, there are a lot of mobile apps. There's a lot of technology out there. But I think the next step is, and this is what like Aaron at ClearPath talks about, is finding a way to API connect technologies. So maybe, but I don't think you could use your preferred mobile app for all the things that the Draiver app does, which is fine, because Draiver's got, there's AI. Is there AI in Draiver?
Yeah. So within our dispatching program, we actually have an AI agent that will take all of the information I said before, right? You need to have your deadline times, what time it's available for pickup, if it is a CDL unit, all of that is taken into the system. And then what we can do is, based off of each one of those deadlines, plan properly for you to be the most efficient movement possible. And let's say you already have a driver that's out on the road and you're like, hey, I really need to go get this vehicle. You can dump that in there too. And it can very quickly adapt to whatever those business needs are. And it's really an on-demand solution for this AI as well. And it could be at the beginning of trip creation, or it could be mid-trip creation. Things change, and things change quickly in this industry. And just being able to have something that's adaptable, get information to drivers quickly is extremely important, not only for the business itself, but for the drivers too. You don't want to have them sitting around there for 30 minutes asking, what is this unit? And what am I supposed to be moving? We very quickly get the information to all those drivers via that mobile app, and they can see, hey, it's unit 123 or it's VIN XYZ, and we actually decode every single one of those VINs if it's uploaded and tell you, hey, it's a Chevy Malibu and it's a 2023, right? So they have better visibility from the driver's side as well as the operators themselves.
Since I got you here, I want to talk about OEMs and fleets for a minute.
Sure.
Add some insight into, that's got to be, these have to be, these are large clients with a complicated need that suddenly shows up. There's some amount of time. Tell us more about what it's like to work in that world.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, it is extremely on demand and things change immediately. And so if you have an OEM, and we've already done this a lot of times in the past with large OEMs, but it's that same example. It's, hey, we need 1,000 vehicles tomorrow. How are we going to get this done? And the answer is that they need to rely on somebody who can scale up and scale down quickly. If you're talking about another drive-away solution, they're going to have to give contracts to all of those drivers for a certain period of time. For us, it is one day. It could be 3 hours, it could be 8 hours, or it could be several weeks worth of work, but it's all on demand. And we move vehicles significantly faster than what we've seen the industry in the past. And so when it was taking time for an OEM to, hey, we need to have a windshield part that needs to get installed down here, we're able to actually transport those within the lot even. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long distance movement itself. It can be anything from 1 mile, a half mile, to 1,000 miles. And every single time we're able to scale up and scale down as they need for demand.
So, all right, so I'm an OEM and I realize somehow, oh my gosh, we haven't scheduled the windshield replacement situation, and it's Monday. I just got the memo. and we're looking at, we can probably do this Wednesday and Thursday.
Mhm.
So we contact Draiver right away and say, here's what we need. What do we need to do?
Yeah, it's exactly that. And we try to get as many API integrations as we possibly can. It really gives us every piece of the puzzle versus getting an email. We know sometimes emails are the preferred method of a lot of dispatchers, but we're receiving that information direct in, and then we're immediately dispatching any of the information we have out to these drivers so we can get them ready to go and to scale as quickly as possible. But yeah, again, OEMs have shutdowns in manufacturing on a whim. It could be, one piece of the puzzle missing. And they're going to have to shut down for 2 weeks. Or, hey, there's an inspection that we have to do on all of these vehicles. So for us, it's not as big of an issue when you're scaling up and scaling down versus what the industry standard is.
And so, and just to go through this scenario, okay, so great, we got you covered. We need the VINs, we need the address, we need any other information about, where's point A, where's point B, what's your time frame, how many you need, and then and now the Jason Bourne messages start going out, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's completely hands off. And then what we'll do at the back end, once everything's delivered, is actually give reporting timestamps as far as when this vehicle was delivered. Also on the back end of every drop off, we have latitude, longitude. So let's say a vehicle goes missing, you can't find it, you don't know which lot it's on. We have the exact location that it was last seen by our system. And a lot of that confusion comes in not only in large scale, but small scale operations as well. You have a sold vehicle that was dropped off to an auction. The auction says, I don't have that vehicle on site. Well, you can pull up on the Draiver app itself and say, okay, well, we know it was dropped off in lot B at 12:47 p.m. So we have all that information that we can provide people. It helps in recovery. It also helps just have more visibility behind all your movements.
Right, and so for the OEM, also what they want to make sure they can see is, now that they've got it dispatched and the order is placed, real-time tracking, metrics of time, of different operators, and they can see, they have visibility, right? That visibility into what's happening.
Yeah, and all the data is available on our system, or we can give you guys a report out afterwards, right? So it says, hey, on average, it took us 1 hour to transport these vehicles. The main issue we had was at pickup gate C. Maybe someone wasn't on site, things like that. So again, it relates back to the operational side, but all the data is available and able to be viewed by all of our customers.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to ask you what you're excited about in final thoughts, so I'll plant that seed. But so tell me more, the Draiver, the company.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit more about Draiver, the company, and maybe how it got started or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our founder was actually a owner of a dealership. So he ran into similar issues that I think most of the dealerships are probably struggling with even today. It's visibility upon what your drivers are doing. Do we know that they're going to get a coffee and go to Walmart probably once a week? But I'm paying that guy to go do that. So the way he designed it was around that dealership model itself. And we very quickly realized that not only was it a dealership model, but you talk about the fleet side of it. At the end of the day, there's a lot of waste in not only time, but efficiency that is not really managed by anybody. And so we always say it's kind of like the plumbing of the industry, right? Everybody has to move these vehicles. No one really ever thinks about how are we going to move some of these. It could be on the back end of a car dealership. It could be on the back end of a car rental company. It could be in-fleeting and de-fleeting the vehicles themselves. We have solutions for all of these things. We have enough industry knowledge to tell you, hey, this is what has worked in the past. There's visibility gaps for sure. Oftentimes, they don't know where those drivers are. With our app, we always know where your drivers are. So it's even a solution if you don't want to use our contracted drivers to actually use the employees that you already have hired. So on our system, we can again feedback any of that data for you and tell you, hey, we need to make sure that these 4 drivers, perform better, and give them weekly metrics behind what they're doing. And then the other piece is the coordinating and the planning, like we talked about. There's a lot of manual tracking methods that are happening. Hey, where did you go? And then you write it down in the book, or you put it into an Excel doc. Most people aren't to the Excels yet. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is standardize these practices and understand across an entire company what are the best practices for them to perform on a day-to-day basis and create cost efficiencies in the operational side. And then the other piece is that flexibility. We really are probably the most flexible company that is able to scale up, scale down in the driveway industry. And then the speed. Like I said, we need about 2 hours to get a driver. We've seen across a lot of pilots that we have done, we've actually increased the efficiency and utilization of their fleets, but also the time to deliver a vehicle has actually dropped by about 4 days from what past metrics we've received from them.
Wow. So when we think Draiver, you got that covered. When we think like large vehicle management, relocation moves, Draiver. I mean, there's a lot that Draiver does. And that's why I'm excited to have you on the show, because it seems to me that I think more, but you already have a pretty decent client base. Penske, Avis, did I say Honda was in there? But there's more, right? There's more logos that need to know, hey, we should call Draiver.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a ton of opportunity out there. And I think what we're striving towards is not only expanding in the industry we're currently in, which is that driveway and technology piece, but also trying to use other brokers as a hauling method. We now have a new integration that we can actually feed any of our customers moves that they want to have hauled on our system and feed it back to any of the haulers that are on our system. So what we're trying to do is expand our reach, see where else we can fit into this piece of the puzzle, because it is such a large industry. There's a ton of opportunity that's out there. But a lot of people aren't necessarily looking at Draiver as this solution, right? So it takes time. It's something that's not necessarily new, but it's a newer concept for moving mass amounts of vehicles. And so what we're really trying to do is build out this extremely flexible solution that can fit in to all of these industries and have people understand that our technology is going to allow you to not only operate better, but also plan and understand where your movements are coming from. We can look at historic data and understand, okay, in June, I had 25 rentals that were in the New York market in this specific location. And so maybe next year we need to move 5 more vehicles out there prior to, because we know that that day someone's going to come out and say, hey, I need to rent a vehicle, and it may not be there. And then at the last second, you're going to have to call somebody. We'll still be there for that solution too. But obviously we could be more cost efficient with the amount of time that we have.
Hey, if I sell my car online and I need to get that thing from point A to B, can I call Draiver and they can do that too?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So we have something called Draiver Now. It's a one-off solution. If you have to move one vehicle, you can test it out. And you can actually track the movement as it's going. So as I said before, they all have GPS tracking. So if you're very worried about your personal asset being transported, it's all logged again. All of these drivers are insured and vetted. But you can actually see the vehicle, and you can see when that driver's heading your way. So you have an ETA, and it says to you, hey, John is going to be here in 35 minutes. Okay, I got to make sure that I get my keys to John. And then we also have a new piece of this puzzle that is a badge. So your trip says John's coming. Well, we need to now have the drivers present the badge that says, I'm John from Draiver. It's not just some random guy off the street, right? So putting security methods within there to have people feel more comfortable about this transaction that's happening. It's not just some random person that we're handing my keys to, right?
Wow. Hey, Sue, do you got any questions? Well, you're on courtesy mute, by the way. I muted you again. Sorry, Janice.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Okay. Is there a distance, like when you were talking about this individual thing, is there a distant limitation for moving one privately like that?
Not at all. Again, we have drivers that drive 2,000 miles every single week. So we can do whatever distance it is. We factor all of those things in. Hey, we need to get a flight back from this location if it's going 1,000 miles. Mm-hmm. So our system's able to pull in all that data again and give you an accurate quote pretty much immediately.
That's cool.
Which, yeah, so just to hit it again, is that car haul can also fall under the Draiver umbrella.
Correct. Yeah. And all of this is covered under our captive insurance. So there is no risk to any of the vehicles we're transporting.
That's right.
And the other piece of the puzzle is we're also offering this to any other carriers that are wanting insurance, whether it be, your own employee movements or via our contractors. Every contractor movement is insured, but we're really trying to give that custom solution and again, fit into all these businesses that may need assistance with insurance and things like that.
And so then John is asking in the live chat, and I said freight or cars, but obviously it's cars. So yeah, so if you've got an OEM that needs what would otherwise be a few full-size car haulers, you can work within that too. You're still finding the car haulers, but you're helping your client in that sense as well. So instead of a 10-mile move, this could be a few hundred miles, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, it's whatever distance is needed. There is no restriction. Even if it's going cross-border, I'm sure we can sort that out for anybody. But yes, all of this tracking and availability and photos is all available, whether you're doing this drive away or you're doing it via hauler.
Right, cross-border. So you've also got offices or clients in, Canada and Mexico?
Canada, Mexico,
so Western
Brazil.
Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gee. So drive away in the Western Hemisphere. What else? What else do you need? And I'm assuming auctions, dealers, OEM, fleet, Western Hemisphere, call Draiver.
We got it all covered, whatever the need is. And if we don't do it currently, I'm sure we can figure it out for you very quickly.
Wow, that is awesome. All right, so yeah, final thought. Excited about. What are you excited about? We're at the end of 2024. What's going on? What's new? What do you think happens next?
Well, what I think is going to happen is we're going to introduce this new product to our available solutions, and it's called our Command Center. And this is the piece of the puzzle that gives full visibility. It's got a sleek look. You understand exactly where your movements are. You can track everything. Not that you couldn't in the past, but all of these solutions we've talked about will now become available on one platform itself. And there's also the availability of understanding where the drivers are as well. And you'll have full visibility into that if you're in our platform. There's a lot more coming, I'll say that much. But we also have solutions with this new platform that are self-managed by the drivers. Now, people might say, hey, that's not the best thing ever. But when you have a dispatcher that might get sick one day, you can still have everything run through our system and be tracked. And these drivers can actually assign themselves a unit and it will build a trip for them and they can go on their merry way. So you're still having all of that data feedback into our system and you can get anything and everything you need through our platform.
Command Center. That sounds awesome. All right,
it's going to be great.
Wow. Tyler, thank you so much for your time today. This was really informative. We appreciate everything that you do. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for
Tyler Gerber at Draiver. Thanks so much, Tyler.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right, see ya. I put him back in the waiting room.
It's really kind of cool.
Man,
I
they do
never
a
would have
lot.
thought.
Wow. That is
This tells you how far into the future we have gone from 20 years ago.
I know.
It's crazy.
No. Well, and there's like technologically, there's so many pieces when you write the receipts that he was talking about. There's the vehicle inspection, which I think we all think about, but that's just one user.
Right.
If you're an OEM and you're dealing with anything above 100 vehicles,
Right.
And it's got to be done fast. And it just sounds magnanimous.
Good word.
Magnanimous Weasel. Remember those code names? Magnanimous
From
Weasel.
last week, yeah. Yes.
Hey, I saw in the live chat. And thanks
I don't have
everybody.
it up.
Thank you so much. Sheldon Grant. Did you see this?
No, I do not have it up. It wasn't working.
Sheldon Grant says, I don't see any Backlot Cars on Super Dispatch.
Really? Let me go look. Hold on.
BGA says Backlot is so Backlot was bought by Cars Arrive,
Right.
which is owned by Car Global and has renamed Open Lane, and BGA has Open Lane. So Sheldon says, yeah, I meant Open Lane. I don't see him anymore, and BGA says it's on Cars Arrive. And I've been saying,
Cars Arrive now?
Look,
I have said
I
for
do
so
not.
long.
They're right. I'm looking on Super Dispatch right now.
I have wondered for months why Backlot is still posting on Super when they're owned by Car Global, Open Lane, and Open Lane has Cars Arrive.
Yeah, they're not
So
on.
Backlot Cars are now on Cars Arrive?
They're not on here. I'm looking on Super Dispatch right now.
Wasn't that one of...
The Instabooks.
Right, but that was
Backlot.
one... Exactly, that was one of Super Dispatch's kind of feathers in their cap.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was one of their,
I'll
honestly,
let you-
one of their first big ones.
Right.
Backlot Cars was, yeah.
So that is really interesting. Thank you, Sheldon and BGA, for commenting on that. Really appreciate that. Truckify, yes, Texas Auto Haulers needs additional insurance. Luca commented on the Montway. On the Montway. That's why I shared that screenshot. I think it's 20 cents a mile. We can all agree is kind of like.
and Cars Arrive too. I don't see.
I don't even know. I mean, are you
Well,
working for them? I
it's
mean,
Backlot.
are you doing it for
Release
free?
code. Here it is. Yeah.
Janice
And
just found one of the Backlot Cars on Cars Arrive.
Janice did.
Yeah, because it says the
Gate
release
release code.
gate release code, and that's a Backlot card. Anytime it says gate release code, where does it
Yeah.
go in to and from?
From St. Louis, Missouri to Beardstown, Illinois.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, that must have doubled the volume of Cars Arrive, right?
I'll tell you.
because all it was is like Odessa InOps or something.
Oh,
That's what I mean. That's what I saw. Again, I'm
trying to just see.
Gotta be
what
careful
it
here, Jay.
shows us,
Jeez.
this is
The
the
wolves
one
are
that
out.
They show us.
my God, what are you talking?
Search all
about?
loads. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, hey, do you want to share it?
Yeah.
If you can.
Here we
if
go.
you-
Yeah. Here we go.
Unless
I'll
we need to
find it.
redact it.
Nope. I got the search all. Let me see. Where share?
And anything else, put it in the live chat. We'll wrap up here shortly.
Can you see this now?
Yeah,
This is
go ahead.
okay. This is all their loads. Okay. 29. Really? 29 units?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, no,
Cars
these are
Arrive
the ones
doesn't
I've
have-
delivered. Hold that thought. Okay.
okay, that's the.
Search
still
all loads.
I'm guessing. I don't think it'll be more than 100, 200.
Search all loads.
Search all loads.
And it's just.
And I don't know.
It's putting in only my loads. That's
Well,
what
and
it's
I
doing,
don't.
but-
Yeah, I thought the website worked better before, but you know.
I did too, but way back. in the
Right?
day, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what
better.
they've done. Search all loads.
Yeah,
No,
and-
wait, just scroll down. See,
Well-
that's all the loads, isn't it?
No,
I don't
because she
know.
just pulled one up that was not one
Yeah.
of these. So,
Hang on.
What did they do? Is Cars Arrive better or worse?
I like the old one better, but you
Well,
know,
me too, but we always seem to like the old stuff better, which doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense at all.
No, and it's partly because we're so used to it, and I don't like change. I don't know about you. When you get older, we don't like change. as
Well, we
much.
clearly don't like change. We're
So-
making everything great again.
Yeah, so I don't know if
It's by region now too.
Why are we assuming it was so great? Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Anywhere
I
to
can
anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
Was
hold
it
on.
great?
Yes, it's putting in anywhere to anywhere here. Hold on.
I could do a whole show on this.
All right,
When
there
exactly
is-
was it
where would
great?
they
And
have
what
them
made
now?
it great? And what are we even talking about?
Where would they have how many?
What is
It should
that?
just- yeah, it's not
That-
doing that. I put
what
in
is that that was great?
5 units.
She's
What
got
is
on there
great?
905
What does great even
loads.
mean?
Did you hear me?
On and on. This guy.
905 units.
Really? At Cars Arrive?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Where did you go to? So
How did you figure that? What code did you
Go to
crack?
the start page,
No, oh, the start instead of
Yeah.
search all loads. Okay, hold on.
and then
Just put anywhere to anywhere.
no, go to region. It has a new button now.
Then you gotta click on the
There we go.
invisible link.
Got it.
and then region.
Oh, okay. Oh, anywhere?
There we
Oh.
go.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Okay, so now how do you? I wonder.
And then
Figure
I
out.
how do you
go
know
all
it's-
the way down.
Well, no,
Scroll.
Oh, I
not worried about that.
oh, gotcha. So,
I'm just wondering how you figure
Oh,
out.
you can show 300 units per page.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and
This
look.
is the most loads I've seen on Cars Arrive.
And
in
look
it.
at this. It at
What?
least tells you to the side in-op with keys, in-op without keys.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
So you
better.
also usually know those are repo lots too.
So maybe Cars Arrive, I smell an opportunity. Maybe Cars Arrive could use a refresher course on ATI of how to use their load board.
yeah.
Oh,
It kind of looks like it. Obviously,
we're
I
not
do.
doing that. Jeez.
Hold on, I'm getting down to the
I
very.
can find a
neat
way
bit.
better use of time and resources than that. Customer success is successful because we said it was. It's success. Hey, before we do go, does anybody have anything that we didn't cover? I'm trying. How do you find the
940
independent
units.
drivers?
There we go. Oh, for Draiver? Is that what they're asking?
Well, I don't know. I guess.
I'm assuming you must go to the app and apply or something to that effect, right?
Is that what he's? So to become an independent driver for Draiver?
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay. Probably go to Draiver. Let's pull up the website.
Because it's not just okay. So Draiver is also people that actually get in the car and drive it, right, from lot to lot.
Well, okay, good. All right, cool.
Both,
Questions.
from what I was.
So,
that's
yeah,
where I was getting from him.
So Draiver.com, you can drive for Draiver.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a client,
Mm-hmm.
an OEM, a fleet, an auction, a dealership. You need
Yeah.
cars moved, or you can be a driver.
Right.
And they have a tech platform to connect it all. Yeah, personal, business, drive with us, and you go do it all here. And if you have a question, you go to the live chat. So, did that answer the question? If you want to be a driver, go to Draiver.com. If you want to be a client, go to Draiver.com. If you've got questions, go to Draiver.com. Let's see. But the point of all this, in my mind, is, over time we've come to learn what companies do. Like, on this platform, on ATI, I've learned a lot more about what Acertus does. It was more than I thought. Acertus does a lot of things. Draiver is such company that does a lot of things. I wasn't aware. And we've heard of drive-away companies, and drive-away companies work very hard to keep their clients. Because if let's say you are a drive-away company. Again, Draiver is more than a drive-away company. But let's say you're a drive-away company, and your clients are, like, say you have 5 auctions that make up 80% of your business. Okay? So let's say you're a drive-away company in Kansas City, and your clients are Mannheim, KC, Odessa, KC, Odessa, Belton, and then there's, I don't know. I used to know the names of the auctions around here better. But you have 5 Kansas City metro auctions as your client. and one of them starts to call Draiver. Whoa, we just lost 20% of our clientele. What happened? Well, it's because Draiver does more. Well, we do driveway. Yeah, that's all we do. Well, what does Draiver do that's so special? A lot. They do driveway. They help OEMs, fleets, dealerships. They do personal delivery. They work with car haul, drive away. Shoot, they got a new Draiver Now thing. They got this command center. They're not just dumping off buses of people and hoping for the best. They've got a mobile app that checks that who's spending more time moving a vehicle. So what's going to happen is these local drive-away companies that have just been ringing the register are going to start seeing clients disappear to a company like Draiver that does way more. That's why I am interested in Draiver, because we have seen this across, this is what's happening with AI, is we're seeing businesses that have gotten used to something being the old way because it was so great again, and we're going to make it great again. We're just going to stay in the dark ages with whatever. Well, the newer companies that have adapted to the AI and the tech and the newer systems are going to end up taking your business. And if you're not innovating,
Yeah.
it's notable. Okay.
All right.
I don't have anybody in mind, but I am saying, well, maybe I have one company in mind. And the thing is, it's in the live chat. You guys just pointed out, I've been saying, how can that company still be posting loads there when ownership, I would think, would say otherwise? And so if that, you said you actually saw those loads, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been wondering.
I mean, it doesn't say Backlot, but they're the only ones that use a gate code. So.
Okay. All right. Well, sometimes when we wonder things, we end up getting our answer.
There you go.
Because I was actually wondering this morning, how's the greatest new blog going?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I haven't seen anything. No idea.
No, you're right.
I mean, nothing. So, here's to the greatest new blog. Oh, you mean ATI? Yeah. I mean ATI. All right. Sorry. You know what? And the thing is, that's part of it. We live in a very competitive world. We seem to appreciate it. I don't know. What else are we going to do? I thought that command center was pretty cool, too, when I found out more about that. I heavily encourage anybody in the live chat. If you didn't see the Tuesday night show with Auto Hauler Exchange, you really want to go check it out. I'm going to put the link to Tuesday's show. Here we go. Let's go. Auto Hauler Exchange show. I put the link in the live chat. And what you want to do is go click on that link and go in the video description below the video. And let's talk about Auto Hauler Exchange for a minute. Let's see. Let's go back to... I screenshotted the time codes in the descriptions below that video because it's another thing you only get with ATI. Nobody else does this. But the question about, because Auto Hauler Exchange got the question, this was sent in that it was on Central Dispatch, they're listed as a broker. So, hey guys, are you a broker or are you not? And Royce, they explained, they're listed as a broker on Central Dispatch because Central Dispatch doesn't have
A category for them.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe Marketplace would be more appropriate.
Yeah.
They don't offer that.
No.
And there was a lot of excitement in the live chat over, is this a total anti-broker show? I wouldn't say that. What I would say, though, is that, right, there are different business models changing. There's still a need. Listen, I think this is an opportunity. If you're a boutique broker and you go above and beyond for your customers, they're not going to jump ship. I guarantee you have clients that would never go anywhere else. Right?
True.
I think all businesses have a few clients at minimum that would never go anywhere else. Unless, what would it take? What does it, and I've said this about brokers, there's so many brokers, what's the difference? I see them post their banner ads, places, emails, social media. What's the difference? How is a shipper supposed to know the difference between broker A and broker B and broker C and broker D and broker E? How do you even know the difference? And the difference comes in customer service, right? Getting on the phone, helping your customer fix a problem in a personal way. Also, giving them a price point that makes sense to them. We're all running a business, but at some point, we do have to try to serve our customer. And this brings us to the carriers. On Auto Hauler Exchange, I was saying to them that I would like to help them highlight some of the carriers that are using their marketplace as, we talked about carrier of the week and stuff, right? But I was thinking more like, listen, if I was a client, if I was a dealer, I'm just going with dealer in this case, because they're the ones that I think really look at, what's this guy doing when he shows up? What's he driving, right? Why isn't there more social profile in a good way, in a business way, of a driver? John Bloom's Facebook page. You know what his truck looks like. You know what he looks like. You know what he talks like. Why isn't there more of that of a company?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Why?
John knows that you got to do that stuff, and most guys don't have the time, nor do they care. You know what I mean? It's not about marketing for them. You're only going to have a select few. Either you have a company that does it for the driver, you know what I mean? But very few drivers themselves are going to take the time out to do that for themselves. You know that. They're driving.
How dare I? Well, okay, so
they don't want to use apps, Jay. You think they want to do that?
But maybe it hasn't been done right.
Well, and maybe they don't get it. That is today's age of what people expect too. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Anywhere you go in like a matchmaking social media, right?
Right.
Whether you're shopping online, first of all, you want to see a picture. Can you imagine shopping on Amazon? You can't see a photo.
Right. Absolutely.
There's no way you're buying that.
True.
You're out of there.
You get what you pay for.
Okay. And not only that, I want to see a few photos.
Right.
Right?
And I want to read some reviews. And
That's right.
Yeah.
And this hasn't been explained to the carriers?
Yes. Well, they don't consider the same thing as a product they're going to buy as what they're giving out, which it is.
They are a product. They are a product.
Old school, you don't think like that for this kind of business. You really don't.
Well, I think that's going to change.
I know the new people coming out there get it. I mean, I think the reason why John gets it is because we know he's a magician. He has several jobs in several businesses, so he's always marketing himself. He gets it. But it's not a typical thing that I think a driver out there thinks about, that they should be marketing themselves.
Pretty well. Okay, so let's go back to, let's say you're a large brokerage. Let's say you're so big. Okay. Not to mention, and I think this is one of the reasons why I find it easy to bag on large brokers.
Right.
They are sending teams of people to so many trade shows a year.
Right.
To pick up sales. If they spent half of that budget on improving their dispatch department and carrier relations, it would change the industry.
Yes.
But they don't. I saw one group, they're sending like 9 people to Used Car Week. And I'm sure they're not alone. 9 freaking salespeople to Used Car Week. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You know how much money that is? That is probably, if you add up all the dinners and the drinks and the rooms and all it's $100,000.
Wow.
Where did you get $100,000 to blow at used car week?
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So if you add up all the giant brokers and all their giant teams and their booths, and
Yeah.
you're into $1 million. $1 million will be spent next week at used car week
show.
by auto transport brokers.
Yeah.
$1 million. That's freaking crazy.
It is crazy.
And how does anybody know the difference between company A, B, or C?
No. It's not the
Oh my
same
God.
sales as it used to be, for sure.
It's crazy. And so this brings us being into the social media profileness. I think it's inevitable. You're going to have to explain to people who you are, why you're different,
Yep.
and
Pictures
why
and
they should,
whatnot and reviews.
and it's not, and it's also, this is another thing about the greatest blog in America, is that you can't do just one show and you're done. I made a speech Tuesday night about weekly podcasts. It's very hard to go every week, week after week after week. I don't know, does anybody ever ask us how hard this is to do this week after week after week? Do you find... No, right, no, they don't.
I know,
They
it's
just,
not- it's way harder
Jay
for
and Sue
you.
will always be there. Jay and Sue are like dirt. They're just there.
No, I know that you invest a lot of time into this, for sure.
This is
Me, I'm just
insane.
like, I send you stuff constantly of things going on. I don't even think anything about it anymore. I just send it, you know?
Right. And,
So
and,
me, it's more like, just get on and we're going to talk kind of thing.
and
But,
I consider it my job, my mission in life is to come back and keep doing. But I mean, you know, yeah, no, at this point, it's out of control.
Yeah.
And so when I hear another announcement, we're the greatest show on earth, take a hike. Forget it. Stop. Just come on. Just jump in the live chat and insult me directly. Please. Okay? Because I would just appreciate the direct criticism instead of this indirect BS. All right. There, I said it. It is hard to do this week after week. And so that leads us into, we got some crazy shows. This is our last show of November.
right.
We're going to do 3 Thursdays in December.
Okay. Because last one is Christmas, right?
Right.
Okay.
The fourth one would be the day after Christmas.
Okay.
And Santa is giving you the day off.
Sweet.
Yeah. But I do want everybody to get ready, because the show in 5 weeks, the last Thursday of the year, is going to be crazy. So you're going to want to check that out. It's
Right.
not posted yet. I haven't told anybody what it is. I'm excited about it. And there's no costumes, but there will be tears.
Oh, great. Tears of happiness or tears of sorrow?
Depends on who you are.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. This was a really great show. Hey, Ned, did we, let me just check the live chat, make sure we're good for the, John gives a thumbs up. Thank you all so much. And yes, I always thought about how you can do every BG. Thank you, BGA. This is for BGA. You know, listen, guys, I'll go to Cam 1. It is, so it's very hard to do this week after week. And nobody else does do this weekend. Nobody. I mean, not in the Western Hemisphere. Nobody does this week after week. I don't need an award, but I now at this point, anybody that pretends that they're like jumping in front of line in front of me no longer gets my sympathy. Like, that's not, please don't do that. Please do not pretend that you do what I do, that you understand, that you can just jump in line and no, stop. When ATI ends, if that ever comes, this is a one-of-a-kind deal, and it can't be replicated. Gosh, that was a lot. But I say this again because I see there's a lot of opposition to this show, to this movement. Most people are just really supportive of the, super likey, happy stuff. Everything's great. And we're just focused on the really rich people. I'm the opposite. I'm not focused on the rich people. I recently posted a video short that made fun of, I guess it made fun of the NADA. It makes fun of the idea that you can lock up, that Volkswagen can't engage in direct sales because it competes with their dealers. No, and I don't care. I don't care. I realize there are laws in place that protect businesses, and that's going to continue. And actually, the next 4 years, this show's going to be even more of a dichotomy of reality in the coming years. Which is interesting too. I hadn't planned on that. I thought socially we were in it for people, but we're not. Socially, we're in it for businesses. This world is about business, and I will be this small independent voice that people hope eventually just goes away, which could happen. But until then, ATI will be this bastion of truth in this large sea of, we just really want to make sure the rich people are happy. It's a lot of applauses at once. So I will take every like I can get, and I have created memberships. I've created YouTube memberships. If you think ATI should stay in existence, please do feel like a membership is something you might want to think about. It is $9.99 a month. I'm trying to offer some kind of reason to be a member on the YouTube channel. There aren't many reasons yet. But ATI is a one-of-a-kind. It is unduplicatable, and it is here to help everybody stay informed and grow and look towards the future. Because as we can see, if you only focus on the past, well, you may take control of the government, but you may not actually grow your business, because there are a lot of changes coming for all of us. Okay. Wow. That was crazy. And thank you, Draiver, and Auto Hauler Exchange, and Superflow Systems, and Murphy Auto Transport, and ClearPath TMS. What do we say, office?
Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody. Join us Tuesday for Used Car Week Live. I will be traveling next week. Take care, everybody. See ya. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.